Welcome to Sports Express with Spencer Davidson. Brought to you by Scalzo, Zogby, and Wittig and the law offices of Ricardo J. Morrow.
Coming up aboard the Express, Class B top seed Oneida tries to defend home turf and advance in the tournament as they took on Homer. Plus, Frankfort Schuyler hosts Onondaga in the Section 3 Class D tournament quarterfinals. But first, time for tonight's big game. It's a battle of the Indians as the 3rd seed Waterville hosted the 6th seed Secaucus in the Class D quarterfinals. First quarter, 3.5 minutes in, Secaucus pinned deep in their own end. It's a high snap on a punt, rolls into the end zone. Jaron English falls on it. He's downed by Jeremy Edwards for the safety. 2 points for Waterville and the ball back. Later in the quarter, Waterville with it in the red zone. Check out the trickery. Pitch to Tristan Graham, who takes the jump shot and drops it right in the hands of Connor Marriott in the end zone for the touchdown. Extra point good, 8-0 home side. In the second, Waterville pads the lead more. Darren Johnson up the gut, dragging defenders with him into pay dirt. Home Indians up by 15. Secaucus responds just over 2 minutes later. They reach into their bag of tricks and execute so well, they had me fooled. But it's Andrew Walker scampering into the end zone for 6. Extra point no good. It's a 15-6 game. But it was Waterville's night tonight. Just 47 seconds later, it's Marriott breaking through and taking it all the way home. 71-yard touchdown run. All scoring done in the first half here. Waterville is moving on to the Class D semifinals as they win 23-6. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a playoff edition of Sports Express. Let's stay in Class D and head to the other quarterfinals matchup played under the lights tonight. The 4th-seeded Frankfort Schuyler Maroon Knights played host to the 5th-seeded Onondaga Tigers. These two teams met in Week 2 with Frankfort dominating 39-12. Heading to Lieutenant Joseph Ferraro Field, Coach Jeff Legase watching his team take the early lead. Tyler Rosati plows in from a couple yards out. 6-0 Knights. Second quarter, Onondaga ties it on this pass from Zach Delaney to Nathaniel Ricord. Wow, 68-yard scoring play. Got to give props where they're due. We are all tied at 6. Frankfort, though, comes right back. Andrew Spina powers his way in. He doesn't give up. Great second effort. That TD gave the Knights a 12-6 lead at the half. In the second, it's the Tyler Rosati show. This time in from a yard out. He had 173 yards and 3 touchdowns on the night. Frankfort advances with the 28-6 win over Onondaga. They'll face the winner of Sandy Creek and Dolgeville, who play tomorrow at 1:30 in Dolgeville. In Class B, top seed and undefeated Oneida Indians and the Rowdy student section hosting 8-seed Homer. These students made it tough on the Trojans all night. First quarter, Stephen Caffalone takes the handoff, and he's gone. Feeding off those Oneida fans tonight, and it's the Indians striking first. The very next series, here they come once again. The handoff, even faking the camera out. A lot of those tonight. Jordan Clark going the distance, flying into the end zone. Now, this Oneida team has looked so good all year. Mighty impressive again tonight. Ty Darkangelis calls his own number from the goal line. Lots to cheer about. Tonight was all Oneida. Indians are moving on 49-14, the final. To the other Class B quarterfinal as the 3-seed New Hartford Spartans hosted the 6-seed South Jefferson Spartans. First quarter, Tyler Pataki on the QB keeper for the 5-yard score. 7-0 home Spartans. Second quarter now, Anthony Rasmussen rumbles in from 4 yards out. 2-pointer no good. That made it 7-6. Later in the second, Vinny Finelli takes the handoff, weaves his way 15 yards to pay dirt. That made it 15-6 at the half. Finelli rushed for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. New Hartford wins 35-12. They will face Solvay in the semifinals next week. To Class C out in Lowville, the undefeated Red Raiders hosting Skaneateles. First quarter, 7-0 Lowville. James Musso hits Colin Cox for the touchdown. Raiders on top 7-6. Lowville answers. Isaac Lindaker takes it in from 2 yards out. It's 15-6 Red Raiders. Still in the first, Chad Bach calls his own number and takes it in from 6 yards out. 21-6 Lowville. They'd add plenty more from there. Raiders beat Skaneateles 58-26. Out at Chiz Fry Field, this one not a playoff game technically, but it might as well be. Playoff picture still to be decided in Class A as Whitesboro hosts Central Square. A win and the Whitesboro would clinch a spot in the next week's semis. Second quarter of this one, Whitesboro driving up 21-14. Nick Sardina over the top, off the hands of the defender and into the waiting arms of Griff Scortino for the touchdown. Fortunate bounce there, but hey, the Warriors will certainly take it. The Redhawks did make it a game, but the Warriors were able to hang on in this one, 28-26, the final, as Whitesboro clinches a spot in the section semifinals against Carthage next week. All right, let's take a breath here. That'll take us to our first break on Sports Express, but we're far from over. Up next, we'll introduce you to our latest athlete of the week who came up big when it counted most. But first, let's check out other scores from around the area in our Sports Express Scoremaster.
If you want to join the conversation on Twitter, use hashtag SportsExpress. This is Sports Express Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Scalzo, Zogby & Wittig and the law offices of Ricardo J. Morrow.
Welcome back to Sports Express. It's time now to unveil our Athlete of the Week. At a crucial time, he was able to deliver big for his team, and now he looks to continue that as the team heads into the postseason.
Kyle Getman of Dolgeville football had a monster game against a tough opponent last time out with 29 rushes for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. That all coming in a key 24-20 win over then first place Beaver River. Getman's strong outing helped the Blue Devils tie the Beavers atop the standings, eventually leading to a 4-way tie for the league crown. However, with 2 wins over the other 3 co-champions, Dolgeville earned the top seed heading into the Section 3 Class D tournament, thanks in large part to Getman's play. He's totaled 11 touchdowns through the 7 regular season games so far. He's hoping to tack on even more when the Blue Devils host Sandy Creek in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Getman said the win last week can help their confidence going into playoffs.
It was a big improvement because it made our team feel better about how we're doing and stuff, and so we can play better our next home game. We're doing well on our plays, practices and stuff. We have to work together and it makes the team better.
Kyle played extremely well. He was like a man on a mission, I would call him, on that day. He had known before that we had a chance at a league title if we had won that game, and he really put us on his shoulders and carried us. Kyle is our workhorse, defensively and offensively. He brings that old school grit, very simple, all right, north-south style of running. I've known Kyle since he was a little guy this big in elementary school. And it makes me chuckle sometimes because, he was one of those kids that would run around in gym class and, and in recess. And, he's kind of like one of those kids that you look at and go, wow, he's got a lot of energy. But when he brings it to the field, he's able to harness it and use it appropriately. So he's a great kid.
If you know of a high school athlete who deserves to be Athlete of the Week, here's our contact info. Call, email, find us on social media. Send us who you would like to be nominated and why. Give us some stats and a story, and we'll give that player a shot. All featured athletes receive a plaque courtesy of CNY Awards and Apparel. That takes us to intermission number 2 on Sports Express. Up next, an update on Game 3 of the World Series with the Washington Nationals looking to take a 3-0 stranglehold in the nation's capital. Plus, here at home, the Comets look to remain unbeaten and win their 6th straight to open the year as they hosted the Binghamton Devils.
For final scores and video highlights from tonight's games, log on to WKTV.com. This is Sports Express, brought to you by Scalzo, Zogby & Wittig and the law offices of Ricardo J. Morrow.
Welcome back aboard the Express. The Utica Comets wrapped up a 4-game homestand tonight at the Adirondack Bank Center, looking to remain unbeaten as they hosted North Division rival Binghamton Devils. The Comets looking to continue the hot scoring they've had. They've had a blistering 29 goals through their 5 games thus far. First period, Comets strike first. The captain, Carter Banks, with the wrist shot from the slot off the takeaway. Utica up 1-0. Less than 4 minutes later, the Comets tack onto their lead. Vincent Arsenault snaps it home. He's pumped after that, as are Comets fans. Utica getting secondary scoring. They're up 2-0. The Devils would get on the board in the second period, but a response on the power play. Wouldn't be a Comets game without Reed Boucher scoring, right? Well, that shot from inside the dot hits the back of the net, and the Comets go up by 2. Boucher keeping his streak of scoring in every game so far intact. He's got 9 on the year so far. Arsenault potted one more in the third. Cole Lind buried an empty netter for insurance. They push to 6-0 tonight with a 5-1 win. Good stuff. Game 3 of the World Series still going on right now in Washington. The Nationals up 2-0 in the best-of-7 series. But right now, the Astros have the lead 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th. So looking to cut into that 2-0 deficit. Game 4 is in Washington with an 8:07 first pitch tomorrow evening. Well, here at home, more sectionals for you. Football, Class C, it's an all-local matchup as Herkimer travels to Clinton to take on the Warriors. That game is a noon start. Then in Class D, as you heard earlier in the show, Sandy Creek paying a visit to Dolgeville to take on the Blue Devils. That game is at 1:30. Then also at 1:30, it's a Class AA quarterfinals matchup as the top seed and undefeated Proctor takes on Christian Brothers Academy. Full slate of games there in football. And also, we have some plenty more coming up in other sports as well. In men's ice hockey, Utica College opens up their season at home tomorrow afternoon. And the Comets are actually back in action. They're on the road tomorrow, trying to push that to 7-0. So, full slate, guys. And it's been a very busy night, but plenty of local teams moving on in high school football. That will do it for us. We will see you back here next Friday night for another playoff edition. As we dive deeper into the section tournaments, join us again for Sports Express.
This has been Sports Express, brought to you by Scalzo, Zogby & Whitting and the law offices of Ricardo J. Morrow.